Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Get It. I'm your host, Randy Duncan, along with my co host and producer, Jason Bryce, and our other co host, Marcus Bullock, coming to you tonight on a Sunday evening after finally an Eagles victory 24-21 over the New Orleans Saints. I'm telling you, get hype, Eagles fans. Listen, you know what? I'm going to feed into this a little bit.
Self-correct.
But we got a lot to get into tonight. We got a great conversation. We got a lot to talk about Jalen Hurts, about the way the Eagles came out today, about the Carson Wentz, what this means for him. Going to talk about the upcoming Sixers season, some of the maneuvers in basketball later on, and my Phillies have finally made a big move in their front office. But before we get into everything, Marcus, how you doing tonight, my man?
I'm doing well, man. All is good. Had a good weekend. Beautiful weather. It was nice to get outside a little bit. Got some of my Christmas shopping done. Happy Hanukkah to all my Jewish people,
Absolutely.
which I have a ton of
Thank you.
out there in the
Yes.
world. So happy Hanukkah to everybody. But no, everything's been going well.
And Jay, how you doing?
Hey, doing well, man. Happy Hanukkah too.
Thank
as
you.
well. No, doing well. Good weekend. Yeah, good weather. Was able to barbecue today. I don't know. I felt like cooking. Some, something in anticipation for the Eagles game. You know what I mean? I just knew they was gonna win today, and sure enough, they won. So, but good weekend. Doing well. Listen, preparing for the snowstorm coming Wednesday. Now,
Yeah.
Thunder Thoden
I
already.
saw Thunder Thoden was
Already said
predicting
it.
a big storm.
A big storm. So, preparing for that. But all is well, though. Thanks for asking. Everything's good.
Absolutely. So what did you cook today? I mean, because I don't see anything,
Oh, no.
Post game.
No. No. Just a little chicken tenders, little chicken strips, and some steaks. That was the main thing. The main thing
Okay.
was the steaks. I feel like some steaks.
All right. Well, like I said, before we get into it, because I know the appetites are big to talk about tonight's game.
Oh, yes, sir.
I mean, the Eagles came out 24-21 victory over New Orleans Saints. Listen, Jalen Hurts did his thing today. Jalen Hurts played well. Jalen Hurts brought a different energy to the field. The Eagles were a different team today. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I was watching the game, I was excited. The game plan was different. It was good. They ran the ball. They were able to run the ball because of the threat that Jalen Hurts was able to bring to the field with his legs. Jalen Hurts extended a lot of plays out. I mean, I did not think that the Eagles were going to win this game. I really didn't. And it had nothing to do with, rooting against Jalen Hurts or anything like that. I just thought that the Saints were a better team. Taysom Hill had a very good game last week and had been leading the team well. But the energy that they came out with wasn't just on offense. It came out, the defense was fired up. Defense had about 7 sacks today. They were a different team. And when you were watching them today, you really, again, you had to think to yourself, what is going to be moving forward? Because you saw kind of what we saw in the past when, I hate to say this, but when Carson wasn't the quarterback. This same energy was only brought when Nick Foles was around. It reminded me, and I know you're gonna like this, Jay. It reminded me of watching them get hyped to Meek Mills and getting hyped. Like that's the way it came out.
That's all I've been saying. That's all I've been saying, man. I'm glad you're able to see it, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and it was. I mean,
You can see it.
they were exciting. I mean, Grant and Doug did do different play calling today. He utilized Miles Sanders, who's their best athlete, their best player on the field. I mean, Sanders was able to take off, had about an 80-yard touchdown run. But the reason they were able to do that too was, like I said, Jalen Hurts was able to help Doug do the play calling that he was using. Doug's been using a run pass option with Carson all season. And when you're playing Carson right now and you're playing Eagles, it's just a pass option because Carson isn't mobile. When you had a quarterback like Jalen Hurts who was able to get out of the pocket, able to extend plays, he then was able to open up the playbook. So my hat goes off to Jalen Hurts. Very impressive, and I'm excited to see what else moving forward he brings. And there's a lot more I can say, but Marcus, I'm going to let you go and get your thoughts right now.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I think Jalen Hurts played I think the word I'd use is solid game. I don't
Yes.
think he played great. He wasn't phenomenal. It wasn't like, wow, he's the next one or anything like that. But he played solid. He didn't turn the ball over, which is key.
Yes.
And he ran the ball. I mean, I think I heard them on the thing say the Saints hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher all season, and I think both Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts topped 100 yards today. So I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
But I don't want to be the downer. But I think this is gonna look a lot like, and Jay, you say this all the time, when teams catch up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's
I
no
don't,
film
I don't
on
think
right
he's
now.
I don't think he's the guy, but I think he did definitely bring another energy to the team today. I think and it's a lot of times like in hockey they say the backup goalie, that kind of thing. Like the team rallies around that backup when they come in. I think in this situation it's a little different because I think there is. I'm not going to say that the team doesn't like Carson, but they're not playing for Carson. I think a lot of those guys today were playing for Jalen Hurts to succeed.
I agree, Coach. The thing is, though, I don't want to. I don't want you to let Carson off the hook, though, Randall. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You use some language, in your opening statement when you said that, well, he knows Carson's not mobile, blah blah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's not letting him off the hook. That's actually
No, I'm
talking.
just-
That's actually talking negative about him.
okay,
That's
all right.
actually pointing out where his struggles have been at.
Okay, but so I feel like he's been changing the game plan. Is that fair to say? Do you feel like he's
No,
been,
because he used
I think
the
he's
same
been going
game plan.
rogue.
He used the same game plan today that he has been using, but the game plan that he's been using has been able to be more effective because of what Jalen Hurts brought to the table today.
Right? See, and I see, and that's what I'm saying. So I feel like it's more. I think Carson's been the one maybe changing the plays. I think that's part of the friction that's going on between them two.
No, you're not. No.
I'm just saying my synopsis of it.
Okay.
You know what I'm
All right,
saying?
fair enough.
But no, I think Jalen Hurts could actually be pretty decent. I think that what you really saw was your Hall of I don't say Hall of Fame, but one of the greatest coaches in Eagle history. You see in their game plan being executed to precision, and what does it do? It produces a win. Him and Nicky Foles, they're kind of similar. They just go about their business and run the game plan. But I think with Wentz, is a little egotistical. I think that he's a little full of himself, and I feel like he's been like, nah, let's do this or let's do this or whatever. And I think that's what kind of turns the other guys off, because the other guys are probably feeling like, yo, listen, just run the shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But don't want to put him out there like that. How come? I mean, Jalen Hurts, he's been there a couple of months now, and he already has that level of leadership, that level of influence already. Damn.
See, I don't think if you put Nick Foles on this team today, I don't think he succeeds because of the players that are around him. I think Jalen Hurts succeeds because he's mobile quarterback, and when things break down, he's able to take off and run the ball for 30 yards to get over 100 yards. Now, I agree with. I think Carson was promoted to us as this mobile quarterback who can do these things, kind of like an Aaron Rodgers type, who can get out and run, but he doesn't do that. So I think if I'm Doug Peterson, I say, okay, I have a mobile quarterback who can run, but he never runs. Like, that's a problem. But still, I don't think Nick Foles fits this Eagles team today with the injuries they have and all that, because I think he would. I don't think he'd be in the same situation that Carson's in, but I don't think he has the same success that he had in the past.
Well, I think I'm kind of on the fence with that, only because now Jalen got 108 yards today, something like that.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
over 100 yards.
So a lot of that was his eliteness, his elusiveness that he's able to do that,
Yeah,
right? So let's say he doesn't have all that. He's still going to run because of what the defense and how the offense was playing out and what was being given to him. So I do think that Nick Foles, he has ran. He's just not running at that level.
Well, I don't know why we're even talking about Nick Foles today. Like, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Because
oh my
I
God.
don't know why we've been talking, because
Okay.
it's so irrelevant to
No,
today's game and what we're talking about. It's
No,
irrelevant.
no.
I'm telling you that the only reason Nick Foles that I brought him up was that.
You brought him up.
I did bring him up.
Then why are you asking yourself the same damn question?
No, because the thing
I don't
is
know
that-
why we talking about Nick Foles.
Here's the
You
thing.
should have introduced him.
No,
to the
I brought him
equation.
up because here's the point. No, talking about how Nick Foles would be in today's game.
No. The point that I'm trying to make was that, okay, you know what? I do think that Nick Foles would be successful
And you know what?
in this, because I believe that Doug Peterson is a good coach, and if you run his shit, I think he'll do okay. I think he'll produce the win the same way that he's produced the Super Bowl win. I think the problem's always been Carson.
Well, no. Here's the thing, and Brian, who's watching with us, makes a great point. And I was going to bring this up. Jalen Hurts has been a leader. He has played at 2 different huge universities. He was a Heisman runner-up. He brought 2 big programs to the college football playoff. He's been on the big stage. So to me, like today, people say, "Oh, it's his first career NFL stars." Now, granted, yes, you can't compare NFL and college, but when you've had the opportunity to have that stress and being in the big light, it makes it easier. And also, like at this point too, Jalen Hurts knew like I'm playing with house money. Like no matter what, like people are rooting for me to do well. Right. And even if
if he bombs.
But if he bombs,
his chances
could be over for his career.
For his career. So I don't know how easy that is for him. I think he's under an enormous amount of pressure, and never the type of pressure that Carson has seen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to have to be able to do something and be able to perform. And I'm not saying that he didn't do like spectacular. He was just efficient at everything he did. He ran the offense.
He was.
Him and Doug, they had a synergy,
at the same time, Doug was able to put the ball in Miles Sanders' hands, which I attribute also to the fact that, like I said, he was able to allow that run-pass option that Doug was so happy on doing in that game plan because he was able to get out of the pocket. And here's the thing, too. People talk about, Carson, with these, now his 12 different offensive lines that the Eagles put out there. I hate to say it, but Jalen Hurts wasn't getting sacked like that.
And I'll be honest with you, I meant to bring that those numbers to the equation because I like Max Kellerman. You know what I'm saying?
I like him at times.
He's a numbers guy though, but he actually he actually killed that argument about that whole offensive line thing. But I don't have the actual numbers, so I can't really talk about it too much. But he killed that a little bit, saying something about the line is like 12 and something. I'm not sure. But the bottom line is this, man. Hurts came in and he did the job the same way that Nick Foles did the job. The problem is Carson. Carson doesn't. I mean, I looked at the little small things in the beginning. You know what? The defense was pressuring him. And he got forced out the pocket. He's rolling, he's surveying, he's this, he's that. He has nothing, he throws it away. Okay. Carson, he's sitting there surveying, this and that. Don't really roll out, but he'll roll out a little bit or whatever. Sack.
Because he's been holding,
or he tries to force it.
Or he tries to just he tries to do. He goes rogue.
He's been terrible, and it's just like I said, you gotta make the right decision. And even like the little glimpses that we saw Jalen Hurts last week, and we were like, okay, this is a guy who's getting rid of the ball. He's taking what the defense has given to him, whether it's throwing the ball out of bounds, whether it's taking a 3-yard run, whether it's just a little 3-yard gain, whatever it is, he's taking what the defense is giving him. And how many times watching football do you say, take what the defense gives you? Even not just football, every sport. Take what the defense gives you. If you're playing baseball, third baseman's back, lay a bunt down. Basketball, coach, give me a good analogy because you're a baseball guy.
They're playing off, you shoot it.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, so he's doing what the defense is giving him. But today just showed me now. Granted, like I said, Miles Sanders played well because the playbook that Doug feels comfortable running. That's the one thing. Doug is not someone who's going to change his game plan. Doug is, from what I'm seeing, Doug is like, this is my game plan, but now, like I said, the game plan is that he has to be able to work because the quarterback is be able to run it better than Carson was.
Right. Carson's not running. Just say it though. He's not running his program.
No, he's not.
That's the problem.
He's not. But
that's the major difference that you're seeing. You're seeing with Nick Foles. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, he came in and he ran the program, and I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I mean that was a different game plan too, and that was he was able to run it. That was a different game plan. That was more. There was a power running game. There was better receivers. I mean there was.
Alshon caught a touchdown.
Oh no, Alshon, what? Alshon needs to pay the Eagles back some money. But anyway,
he caught a touchdown though.
Yeah, he did. I know that was like a
but maybe Carson's not utilizing him though.
No, I mean
I'm saying though.
It's so funny though.
But why can't you? Can that be a possibility?
The other thing that bothers me too is like. Okay, so we're talking about this point in the season, though. You're talking about development, player development. You're seeing what you have. Like, you know,
No, I disagree. I disagree.
so you're still playing for the playoffs?
I think that they're still in the playoff race. I think they're still
No,
playing for the playoffs.
okay, but
I'm not. No.
No, but
If it was me,
here's my
no.
point, though.
But I'm also not getting paid millions of dollars to keep my job.
No, but here's my point though. Also, like in this position, I get granted you're paying Alshon and you are paying him, but like I hate the fact that he's taking snaps away from a guy like a Travis Fulgham, somebody who's younger that's shown some spark. I would have liked to seen him out there. Now you know
where's your man Lee at? Lee, what did he say about Fulgham?
Oh, I probably something we can't repeat on the air.
What did he say last week about Fulgham? He said, "But don't tell me about Fulgham."
No, because I mean, no.
Shout out to Lee, man.
You know, but I mean, here's the thing. Like, you know, it's the thing is though, at the end of the day, like you know, this, like I said, it's the best and the worst thing that can happen for this organization because you basically, if you ask me, Carson's sitting at home tonight and he's like, man, I'm right back where I was before. And,
that's a good thing, though.
No, because but no, I'm saying
it's a good thing.
No, but I'm saying it's a good and a bad thing because you know people it cracked me up. Like they're sitting there, like, "No, Carson's still our guy, and we're gonna we're gonna move forward with him no matter what." Like you know, sitting there saying all the right things that they have to say to the media. But listen, if Jalen Hurts comes in and he goes 3-1, and the team responds the way like this, you know, next year I'm going into this season saying this is an open quarterback competition. And somebody's got to win it. And you know what? Right now, if I would go, let's say he goes 3-1, 4-0, I'd say Jalen Hurts, you right now are quarterback one.
And that's why I don't understand. I'm sorry, Coach, not to cut you. That's why I don't understand why you say why it's a bad thing. I don't understand that. Why? Who's it bad for? Carson?
I think it's bad for the Eagles because of what you've invested in Carson.
Yes.
So now you're
Okay.
Handcuffed. If it turns out that Hurts is a better player, you're handcuffed with this money that now you can't build your team with somebody who's not even playing.
I hear that.
For the organization, I mean, I think, but also for the organization, it's good to know what you have and what you don't have. You know that I think everybody can agree that Carson's not the guy. Period. Like, you know, when I think, like you even said it, Randy, whenever his contract, you can get out of it, you're going to get out of it. Like
2 years from now.
You know, I think
2 years?
I think that's been,
and as you know, like I said, it's just you know, you sit here and I think it's good and bad. Like you said, I mean, I don't know, and I'm not saying that I if you had to ask me today, you know, do I think that Carson Wentz is going to be able to succeed again in the Eagles uniform? I say no. I mean, that's where I'm at. I think
Can we get a round of applause for that?
Yeah. Let's wow.
Applause for that. That's a
Right. He's seeing the light.
This is not the first radio show I've been on today. You know, I'm usually a big call to the 97.5 on Sunday mornings. I was going off this morning.
Were you?
Yeah. I mean, my buddy was like, I think you had an aneurysm on the phone when you
What
called in.
were you going off about?
Well, I was going on, you know, because of course they were talking like, you know, about the upcoming game today and you know what the thought process was, and you know, just you know how you know we want to sit there and you know, at the end of the day, granted Carson has struggled, and right now but he still is also like the scapegoat for not having a team built around him and Howie Roseman struggling.
Oh,
you know, so it's like, and because I still want to know if he had better skill players around him, how he would do. But now a game like today shows me, like, man, like, okay, so maybe, I mean, granted, the skill players still need to be there, but I mean, it was just one of those things where, look, you guys know, it's been a long time coming for me to really be where I'm at today in my coming back.
I'm happy for you.
You know,
absolutely.
And
I have to admit though, I listen. You know what? It is an honor to be on this show with you.
Well, geez.
And it's an honor to be your friend, man. Cause I know it. Listen, you're gonna be loyal.
Sure.
He gonna hold it down no matter what I do.
That's true.
He gonna be loyal. You know what I'm saying? Cause you just won't let him go. You can't.
You know what?
do
Every
it.
time, listen, like I said,
it's okay.
Okay, so this is like the analogy I made prior to the show. Was that when sometimes when someone lived a great life, and they're gone,
Right.
It takes you a little while. You know that they provided a lot,
Yes.
but it's still hard. And to me,
It's
Carson
okay.
is that that significant other or that grandparent or loved one that you lost,
We're all struggling.
but you're still happy for the times you had. And I'm kind of at that point with Carson. I'm like, thank you for what you did. but I'm starting to detach.
Let me ask you this question, and I meant to ask this last
Oh,
week
boy,
to our
yes.
caller. Would you rather have Carson play like one game, play phenomenal, and the Eagles lose, or Carson get benched in a game that the Eagles win because he's playing so bad?
Great
All right,
question.
repeat that again.
So Carson plays phenomenal,
Okay.
and they lose the game. The Eagles lose the game, but Carson had a great game. Or would you rather have like Carson gets benched, but the Eagles figure out a way to win the game?
No, at the end of the day, I want to see us win. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna root against the team, and and that's the thing. Whatever it takes.
Okay.
So I mean, like even now, okay, like we won today, and I'm like, okay, well, mathematically,
Because you're not happy
You're
about
not
it.
happy.
No,
you haven't.
I'm not.
I
The
don't
thing
know if-
is I'm not. I'm just.
You're not
I'm processing.
It's okay.
I'm processing.
It's okay.
No, because the
It's
thing
alright.
is like because here's the thing though. I mean,
know.
I'm so for so long we had to hear about the shadow of Nick Foles, the shadow of Nick Foles, the shadow of Nick. Now I feel like this is going to be Groundhog's Day.
You just can't.
And I'm going to
say
have to
it.
hear
But
about.
it's his own fault.
It is his own
If he
fault.
would have just played well, then the shadow's gone.
It's okay.
Aaron Rodgers ain't worried about Brett Favre no
No,
more.
not at all.
No,
They're
he's-
actually cool now. They're actually
No, I know.
talking well about each other.
No, and I get that.
They're
and-
moving forward. It's okay.
It's just. Look,
No,
I mean.
No.
At this point, like I said, it took a lot for me to say about the fact that I don't think Carson will ever succeed again in an Eagles uniform. I don't think that you'll see. Here's a statement. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't think Carson Wentz will be the Eagles starter, barring an injury moving forward.
I tell you this. I think that Carson's at a crossroads right now.
Well, he
Okay.
needs to sit on the side of the road because
He-
that road's not going anywhere.
He now is either he has a chance to either go and be phenomenal, or he has a chance to go into like quarterback purgatory, like I hate to say it, I keep bringing them up too, like the Kyle Bowler, or even eventually where Ben DiNucci's headed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
Yo,
I'm not
it's-
going to allow you to do that.
I'm just saying.
Carson Wentz and Ben
it's-
DiNucci are
he-
never going to be in the
Yo,
same.
he's at a crossroads right
Stop.
now. I'm serious.
Stop. Show a little respect.
No, I'm
Show a little
I'm
respect.
listen, I'm giving him.
I mean, yeah, just
I'm giving him the respect of somebody that had a small window of success.
Okay, just
mean-
stop. Just stop.
Okay,
Ben
just-
DiNucci and Kyle Bowler.
I'm just saying he's at a crossroads. He can either go on and be phenomenal.
No, Ben DiNucci never even made it onto the road.
And well, I mean, Carson's on the road.
Stop.
But
Stop.
You
Stop.
love him. I don't know why you
No,
love him so much.
no, because that's just disrespectful.
I got a friend of mine at work, and shout out to Loyal Ray. I call him Loyal Ray, but he's a friend of mine at work. He's loyal to Carson, and I just don't understand why.
No,
I don't
again,
understand.
but again, I'm still. I
And
can
you're,
admit.
and you're loyal to
No,
him.
and I can no, I'm because I'm still going to always, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm going to stick to it, and I've stuck to it every show we've done. Without Carson, we don't win the Super Bowl, and for that, I'm forever thankful.
I don't
So
but-
don't ever, so you can't disrespect the man who
Damn.
helped bring a
Matter of
championship.
fact, I'm gonna be honest. We need help bring a championship. Wait a minute. Listen.
11-2 home field advantage.
I'm a
11-2 home field
and-
advantage.
and-
11-2 home field
Nicky,
advantage.
and Nicky Foles had to step in there for 3 games too. But listen,
Correct.
But listen. Honestly, I don't even know if the Eagles win. An argument can be made: do the Eagles win the Super Bowl without Nick Foles? You don't even look at it from that
Here
angle.
we go, right back to Nick Foles.
I'm just
We
saying.
don't know the answer to that.
The same way you don't know the answer about Carson.
No, but I can tell you
on the other side.
No, but
He
you
had-
know,
on the-
no,
he
now
had,
you're saying
he had
two different
something
things.
to do with the Super Bowl.
Right.
He
Thank
helped
you.
them get. He
No,
put them in a
and
position.
so
to win the
and so
Super
did the people on the practice squad.
They did.
They did.
You're right.
Yeah, right. This
Bowl.
one,
I mean, I
so
think
it's-
that's 2 different levels, though.
Right.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
come
sorry.
on. No, that's
What's
just
the other?
stupid.
Yeah,
That's just a stupid
no,
statement.
No, it's not a stupid statement.
No,
I
it
don't
is.
say stupid things.
No,
It's not a
because
stupid
you can't
statement.
tell me.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't tell me that. Joe Smith, the 14th.
I just don't. No,
had
the
the
problem
same
is
impact
the
that Carson
problem
had.
is to me the problem is that I see you celebrate what Carson did, and Nicky Foles did a harder job than Carson, and you give him no credit. You
No,
give
I-
him nothing. Okay,
I've always said thank you.
you give
Marcus,
Carson
Marcus, how many times have I said
more credit
thank you,
than Nick Foles, and what
No.
Nick Foles did was 2 times harder than what Carson did.
But the thing, again, we're getting on. You're getting on 2 different topics.
No, I'm
You're
just
getting
saying.
on, I'm talking about the lack of respect for what Carson did for this organization. You're putting him in a category of
No,
quarterbacks who
just,
achieved
I'm just
nothing.
being loyal to Nicky Foles, like you're loyal to Carson. That's all.
But
I'm
you don't
sticking
know.
up
Just
for him,
stop.
that's
You're
all.
not. You're not. Your loyalty is just being an antagonist.
No.
That is it. You're not a Nick Foles fan. You're not loyal to Nick Foles. You're
Sure
just
I
being
am.
an antagonist.
Sure I am.
This is what antagonists do. Okay.
Number 9.
You have,
baby.
yes, it is. Okay.
Number 9. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Do you know that number 9 is the number? That number that means completion.
Excuse me.
You know, I'm just saying that's my favorite number. And Foles is like when he's wearing my favorite number, so of course I'm going to gravitate and align myself.
So I'm
with
going to
Nick
ask you, if
Foles.
you're such a Nick Foles fan,
Mm-hmm.
can you tell me 2 other teams he played on besides the Eagles?
The Rams,
Okay.
and isn't he playing for the Bears?
He is. Okay.
Right.
Correct. Now
And he also is a basketball player. He's actually kind of nice. He's
Okay.
actually really nice. I'm just telling you about my favorite quarterback.
Your favorite
I'm just telling you about one of my.
Oh, you know
I'm just
what?
telling you about one of
You know,
my
I mean,
favorite
you know,
quarterbacks.
well, I mean,
That's
this
all.
goes- this
I'm
goes
getting
back-
my
this-
TO on.
This
You
just
know what I'm
goes. This
saying?
just goes back to your ability to just root for the entire world, the rainbow of teams and players.
Hey, it's
You
all
know,
right. It's all
I
good.
mean,
It's all
but
good.
at the end of the day,
It's all good.
you know, but at the
Is
end
he
of the day,
playing now?
what?
Is Nick Foles playing?
No, Trubisky
No.
was playing today.
Yeah. He took a bad hit though. He took a bad hit. Did he clear concussion protocol?
Oh, Trubisky?
No, Holes like a week or 2 ago, right?
I have to check. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I know he lit it up, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, every show we've done, I've always said thank you, Nick Foles, for what you did, and I've said it every show. And Marcus can attest to that.
That is true.
I have nothing against Nick Foles. I'm a huge Nick Foles fan. I'm always thankful for what he did. You know, I
Who are you
mean,
more thankful for?
Nick Foles or Carson Wentz? Well, that's a great question. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you
Right.
Carson Wentz because I'm gonna tell you at the end of the day.
And that's my
Carson
whole
Wentz.
argument.
But then here's the other argument too. People are going to say all the time, like, you know, who are you more thankful for? I'm trying to make the comparison, like Donovan or Ron Jaworski, like in Eagles history. You know, people will say like, you know, I don't know if it's the best comparison, but something like that.
Yeah, it's
You
all
know.
good. It's all good. I mean, yeah, because listen, at the end of the day, listen, Hurts won.
He
I'm
did.
happy for the kid. You know what I'm saying? He's a 2nd round pick, right? You know what I mean? 2nd round pick. He's out there doing,
And
you know,
that's
doing
the-
great
that's
Here's a
things.
question I had. Thank you for bringing that up. Here's a question I had. If Hurts
I
was
know
a
where you're going. Go
4th
ahead.
round pick, which where he was projected to go,
Wow. Okay.
4th round, would Carson still be playing?
Great question.
It's a great question, and the thing is, I mean, I'll answer that, and I want to say too is I don't have anything against Jalen Hurts. I root for the kid. I like the kid. Like I was not looking for him to fail today because at the end of the day, I'm still an Eagles fan. I want to see us win. You know, and that's the thing though too is that I think that a lot of people were trying, you know, me nationally were trying to be like, oh, the Eagles fans just hate and hate. No, many fans didn't have anything against Jalen Hurts. I think they were just frustrated with where he was picked. So, like I said,
And what
if he
other
was,
needs the team
what the
had.
other needs were. So it had nothing to do with the individual. Like I said, okay, the guy was a winner, so that's cool.
Right.
So if he was like a 4th round pick, would he have played?
Meaning, is there as much of a not a rush, but is there as much pressure that this guy was drafted? We used a draft pick on this guy to get him in the game if he's a 4th round pick.
Right. You know what? I agree. I don't think there is. I think that I think that if he's a 4th round pick, a 5th round pick, you know, there's not as much pressure. The Howie Roseman in the front office hasn't, you know, been
Right.
hearing the constant heat about blowing the pick and blowing the pick. So I think there was that internal. Maybe it came from Jeffrey Lurie. Maybe it came from Howie Roseman of like, listen, we have to show that we made the right pick. We have to show that this guy can do something. We need to get him on the field. Yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I hear you. You're right. I think you're right in that regard. I do.
You know, but look, at the end of the day, I don't care who your backup was. It was time for Carson to sit.
Carson made it easy.
I mean, it was time for Carson to sit. I mean, it was. I mean, I could look even as the Carson supporter, I had to be like, man, it's time for you to have a seat.
Let me ask you a question though. You know, with Hurts now playing, right? And performing and performing the way that he performed, right? It's a short window,
Yeah.
right? But does it show that maybe Roseman knew
No.
a little something?
No, because Howie Roseman, this is not his track record of blowing draft picks goes way beyond, this pick right here, and maybe he hit on something.
Oh, so he never gets to redeem himself. He never
No.
gets to overcome that. Is
No,
what you're saying.
not right now.
Okay.
I mean, because no matter what, like I said, you're talking about the fact that, and I mean, I use it just for the example, the two receivers that were basically your cornerstone receivers for, the next 5 years that he blew past and he tried to overthink. But it's not just that. He has such a long track record and of overestimating talent and drafting guys way ahead of when they should have been and just passing, not looking at what the Eagles need and always trying to just go outside the box. He's made too many poor picks to get a pass.
And also, I think if you know that Carson's not the guy, then one, you shouldn't sign him to what you signed him to, and then two, we shouldn't be going through this whole who's the quarterback, who's the guy. If we know Carson's not the guy, and we drafted this guy to be the guy, then he should be the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing was, and everybody knew. I mean, no matter what, everybody knew at some point you drafted this quarterback in the second round, which is a high. I mean, anytime you draft a quarterback in the first or second round, more than likely you're saying this guy has a chance to come in and take the starting job. I mean, for example, you have the outliers like Tom Brady was drafted in the 7th round. But when you have a guy that you drafted right there when there was also other needs on the board, everyone knew at some point you did this because you thought he was going to come in and he was going to play a role.
Now, Fulgham and Rager, and who made those?
Rager,
Who
again,
made those choices? Who made those signings?
Travis, yeah, that was Howie
That was
Roseman.
Roseman, okay.
Yeah. But again,
Fulgham hasn't had a catch in like 4 weeks.
no, he hasn't.
Well,
Yeah,
but
but he
at
also
the same
is-
time, he's been playing with Carson, though.
Well, he didn't have one today either.
Dang, he had none of that.
No, but
Eh?
also his snap count's been dropped
Yeah,
tremendously.
he hasn't even playing.
But
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
okay.
same time, you want to talk about Jalen Rager. Again, nothing's wrong with Jalen Rager, but he wasn't the pick. Jalen Rager was that. You had Justin Jefferson
you
on
have
the
two or
board,
three guys who were
like
possible
Justin
rookie of the
Jefferson and
year.
Patrick Queen, who are like I'm saying. And that's the thing. It's just like with Jalen Hurts. I have nothing against these guys. I have nothing against Jalen Rager. It's just you weren't the guy at the moment. You weren't the pick. And when you're a successful organization, where you have been drafting high, you have needs, you have to hit on these picks. And the thing is, it's not like, and we're always trying to overthink and go overarching picks all the time. I mean, it goes back to now he's had some huge plays and he's made up for it. But it goes to when the Eagles were like, oh, we're going to take Brandon Graham instead of Earl Thomas years ago. When Earl Thomas was the direct pick that everybody wanted to take to replace Brian Dawkins, who, by the way, never should have been let go by the Eagles. That was a huge mistake by the organization. But I mean, so at the end of the day, like there's too many blatant mistakes that Howie's made for one success to
No, I
overcome
got you. I mean, listen, I can't really speak too much on it. I kind of just look up things or whatever, different things that ponder in my mind. But it says since Roseman, I guess they hired him in 2000, that he's earned, the Eagles have earned 14 playoff berths, 10 division titles, 6 NFC championship appearances, 2 NFC championships, and 2 trips to the Super Bowl, including the Super Bowl win. So
Correct.
on a resume,
It's a great resume.
I just so it's all good. It's all
It's a great
subjective.
resume.
I mean, you can make Donald Trump's resume look very
Yeah,
good.
thank you. That's
You can make it look good.
But he's never won nothing. Trump's never won nothing. Nothing he's ever done has been successful.
He's the president of the United States.
That's true. I
He
mean,
won that.
he did win that. You're right about that.
yeah. So I mean, you can
And I
again.
guess the jury's still out on how successful that was.
But
You
yeah,
know.
Well, I'm not saying that was a winning win.
to a public opinion.
But
But,
in
he
any
did win
won.
that.
in any
He
He
won.
situation,
did win that. He did win
He
that.
won.
I get
and
that.
in any situation, you can wrap hoop in gift wrap, and it looks good. And I'm not saying that Howie Roseman is poop.
No, you're right. No,
You
but
know.
you're right. I mean, because listen, I guess the same can be said for Carson. So you're right. You're absolutely right.
Hey, Shane, who was our college coach that was with us a couple weeks ago.
Shane, what's up,
Shout out
Shane?
How we doing, Shane?
Shane said,
Buffalo.
Buffalo. He's wanted me to give a shout out to the Bills.
Right.
We're not doing all that.
Come on.
They got a big game for
Yeah,
them.
New York. Come on, Buffalo. Come
They got
on.
a big game against the Steelers.
He said, Randy, it's time to buy a Hurts jersey, and
Stop.
you need the Barry Wentz.
Stop.
Mario.
No, you know what? And that's interesting because I was
Mario.
going to say, like, I was organizing my closet today, and and listen, what's wrong with that? Listen.
Nothing.
And I can just picture you
Like,
with the
Carson,
with
where
the
I'm going to move you. Right. Where should I move you this to?
No, because and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hang them up. I folded them and put them in the corner with my Ryan Howard jersey. And it was actually a
Who
moment.
was on top, Ryan or Carson?
Well, it was
Carson
Carson,
was on
or
top,
just
right.
the way that it happened to be. Carson was on top.
Ryan Howard should definitely be on top.
No, absolutely. But it was
Yeah.
interesting. I was like, man, what a similar situation. I was like, now, don't get me wrong. Ryan is but I'm like, man, another Philly that I'm just like, he died out. Thank you for what you did, but it died out the wrong way. Because like Ryan Howard, the last thing he did in the Philly
he doesn't get
uniform.
enough credit.
Oh,
Right,
he
that's
does.
right. Yeah, Ryan
Oh,
Howard was
man.
tough for y'all, man.
Ryan Howard does not get enough credit at
Right.
all.
Right.
At all.
Right.
It ended bad. You're right.
It did. I mean, his last image was him tearing his Achilles,
Yeah.
and that was
Right.
awful. But it was just interesting, like you said about the Hurts jersey. I wondered to myself. I said, next time I DM Carson, I might ask him for a little bit of money back because
Right.
I spent $110 on your jersey, and I'm now
I
probably
would,
spend
I,
more
would, I would actually tell him, like, yo, listen, I would never DM you again because you garbage.
Right.
You garbage. He's
Well,
garbage.
or at
He
least
doesn't
give
even-
him
he
some
doesn't-
money back.
He doesn't even deserve to be DM'd.
You're right.
He's garbage.
He doesn't deserve me in the
He's
dog.
garbage, man. Listen, he's robbed y'all. He robbed Philly.
Wow.
He robbed them.
This
You gave him
contract.
$128 million for 11 and 2.
No, this contract again is going to go down because again, the next 2 years you're hamstrung. What is it? What is it? Yeah, we'll say that.
That sound right.
It sounded right.
Right.
Where you now have $35 million sitting on the bench every season, you're going to have, and the thing is, so you now can't fill in the holes where your team has because of it, and it's going to be a major problem. So, but I mean, look, I'm excited to see what happens though with Hurts these next few games.
I just think you saw a different Eagles team. I mean, you saw
You
Alshon.
did.
You saw Alshon catching.
but the
You saw. I'm saying though, but Alshon, he shows that he had a little something.
Alshon is a twerp.
That's terrible because he was part. He was part of that.
He was.
run.
But he
wasn't. Carson was throwing to him that year, wasn't he?
Alshon had a good year.
No, Alshon did have a good year.
Damn.
He did have a good year, but I'm talking about
He's part of that level too.
But the thing is, it goes back to like you're saying, oh, why are you going back to years after years? What have you done for me lately?
Right. He just caught something. He just caught a touchdown. He just caught a touchdown.
Sports are what have you done for me lately? One touchdown. For the money he's getting paid, Alshon should have been producing more.
Well, on that front, I think the Eagles' problem, and they've done this for years. I think a lot of Philly teams do this. They pay people for what they've done
Sure.
as
Yes.
opposed to what they're capable
Of doing. Yeah, I can do that.
And I think that's where they get hurt. So like Randy's so upset with all these guys because they're making this money based on what they did in the past.
Right.
But now it's like the Eagles are almost like, and a lot of organizations don't do this. Like, we don't think we can use it. We probably should pay you some more, but you're gone.
Yeah.
But the Eagles continue to pay people
And they
almost
pay
as,
the
almost
wrong
as
guy.
like almost as like a thank you.
And they
for
pay
what
the
you've
wrong
done.
guys though. Like you look at it. Like we talk about, they didn't want to pay Brian Dawkins. What a huge mistake. They didn't want to give money. They didn't want to give money to Malcolm Jenkins.
That was
Huge
terrible,
mistake.
yeah.
I'm just saying they never want to give the money where it is and where they should be. So like you're saying, you're right. They are always giving money to what you did, and then instead of like you look at it all the time. An organization like you were saying, like the New England Patriots, they don't overpay. They say, okay, thank you. We'll find another guy that can fit in here.
Who was like? I guess for the Eagles that have done that. I mean, the Eagles have done that, right? So, who's the worst person they've done it for?
What do you mean, the worst non-signing or the worst?
The worst signing.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah, no, I'm just
I
saying.
can see the smoke where the fire is. I can see the smoke where the fire
I didn't
is.
create the smoke. I didn't create the smoke.
I would
So
tell you.
some will argue Jason Peters.
Yeah.
Some will argue that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would anybody argue?
I'm sure some people would argue somebody else too.
You know what? They will. Carson Wentz may go down as the worst signing in Eagles history.
Paying him for what you did, but not for what you could possibly still do, baby.
Correct, but at the same time,
I don't think
There's-
Doug was high on him. I'm not even sure if Howie Roseman was that high on him. I'm not sure.
well, no, but then stop. That's just stupid.
I'm not
Because
sure. I'm just
because
saying.
it's stupid. So then, I know it's not Jeffrey Lurie. Jeffrey Lurie does not have his hand on the team like that.
He loved
Jeffrey Lurie.
Carson. That's
No,
what all the reports are
No,
saying.
Jeffrey Lurie is a great owner in that he shells out the money. He's visible, but I don't believe. But he's not like a Jerry Jones. He's not sitting in the war room saying, "I won't take this guy." Like he's not doing that. So
know.
the people who drafted Carson Wentz, the people who traded up and mortgaged the future of picks, are Howie Roseman, the front office. Those are the guys that did it. So don't let them off the hook. But again,
That's interesting because that came at a time when all they pretty much had was Nick Foles, and they was like, "We need to do something, right?" Because that's who was the quarterback when Carson was drafted, right? Nick Foles, right? So then Nick Foles,
No.
or was it Sam Bradford?
Didn't they trade?
Yeah. Sam
it
Bradford
was part of it because Bradford was part of the
Because
trade.
Foles wasn't there when
But
Carson.
Carson,
got there.
did Carson start game one
Yeah.
of his rookie year?
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was Chase Daniel was behind him.
Yes.
Chase Daniel, okay.
Nice.
They brought in Chase Daniel
As the projected
as-
starter.
Yeah. And then they switched it like week 2 of the preseason.
Yeah, because they were like, nice guy, though,
Okay.
Chase Daniels. Shout out to
Okay.
Chase Daniels. I met him.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah,
Nice guy.
yeah.
I mean, nice guy.
That goes a long way in the world.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I remember because I was at a wedding with a friend and I saw him and
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's Chase Daniels.
Yeah.
You know,
Garbage, though.
and what?
He's garbage though.
I mean, he was, but at the time he was an Eagles player, with back and
But
forth.
that's that quarterback purgatory I'm talking about though. Like, you know what I'm saying, that Carson could be headed to, because Chase Daniel's not starting, he's not doing anything, right?
No, he's not. But
You
again,
pick him up like it's
Again,
what, it's like
you
a second,
cannot-
third string?
once again, you cannot lump Carson Wentz in with these no names that you're
Oh,
doing.
are you saying that Chase Daniels? I'm sorry.
Many people argue the best role in professional sports is to be a backup quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, absolutely. I
I mean,
mean,
Frank Reich,
You can't.
right?
yeah, Frank Reich. Yeah,
Everybody
Frank Reich.
always-
The coordinator.
Yeah, winning games.
He was a bum when I was watching. Wait, did he play for the Bills? He played for the Bills. He's a bum.
Didn't he lead the biggest comeback in?
Shout out to Anwar.
Did he?
Anwar's watching with us. Appreciate that.
I think he led the biggest comeback
That's
in
Anwar. What's up, Anwar?
in NFL history.
Did he?
I think so.
I have to look that up.
I gotta look. Shane, if you're listening, I know you'll
Frank
know that,
Reich?
Shane.
Oh, I always thought of him as a bum.
But no, the
It's like a Jeff
backup
Hostetler.
quarter position.
He's
Jeff
a bum.
Hostetler wasn't a bum.
He was a bum.
No, Jeff Hostetler was a two-time Pro Bowler.
He's a two-time Pro Bowler. I mean, he's a bum.
So who's not a bum? Who's not a bum?
Jalen Hurts.
One game,
That's right.
one win, and he's not a bum.
See, it's all good.
One
It's
win,
all
it's
good.
not a bum.
It's all good. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Listen, I just want Jalen to do his thing. I want him to be successful, and I just think that, you know what? I was sitting here for a moment. I was like, yo, I may start really like rooting for the Eagles.
Yeah, okay.
I'm dead serious. I was sitting right here with my daughter. I was like, yo, you know what? I found myself like, come on, baby. Come on, baby. Like, I've never done that with the Eagles. Not since Dante
If you are a
Stallworth.
true New York fan, you
Not
will
since
never
Dante
root for-
Stallworth.
If you're a true
right?
New York
and Donovan
fan,
McNabb, right? McNabb, Stallworth, and I forget what they had on the other side
He was
too.
even on the Eagles.
yeah, right.
Yeah, like, but they was okay. That you know what I'm saying? Like, was that 07, somewhere around there, whatever. Yeah, I used to like the Eagles. I used to. It was when I started meeting the fans and moved up here and started seeing how how intense y'all were. And
If
how,
you
and
are
how
a true New Yorker, you will never root for a Philadelphia team.
That's easy coming from somebody that's not a true New
I'm just
Yorker.
saying. I'm just saying that's a violation.
Really? I'm
That's
a Sixer
a
fan. I'm a diehard
Well,
Sixer
that's
fan.
okay. That's all right.
Diehard Sixer fan.
But it goes back to Dr. J, and that's understandable.
Sure.
I mean, there's certain
No, the Eagles are-
there's certain historical connections to like teams that you can't ever argue.
Yo, I would go on
Like
my
I told you, I like Derek Jeter's my favorite ball player. That's not a Philly, and so like no one could ever say, "Oh, you can't root for him." Yeah, Yankee can't.
I was
beat
a
him.
Randall Cunningham fan. Like, I actually got a picture up there with
Oh,
me
yeah,
in a
Randall.
Randall Cunningham jersey. I was a Randall Cunningham fan.
Oh yeah,
I do.
absolutely. I remember I used to have the old Kelly Green, Randall jersey, and that was like my favorite thing. I wore it on picture day and everything. With the
Yeah.
turtleneck. I mean, back
They
in
said
the
it
day.
was turtleneck. Yeah.
DM that to
DM that picture,
No.
right?
No.
That's
No,
my
I'm telling you,
quarterback.
I'm telling you, I had to. Well, listen, with that said, we're going to run a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk Sixers. We're going to talk about Phillies. You're watching Let's Get It.